Page 12, I hear an echo. We got quite a bit going on here. Let's take a look. At the bottom of page 11, they're giving what they call expression marks. And I disagree with that. To me, these are not necessarily expression marks. I consider expression marks like staccato marks, those things, how you express the note. Although this has to do with expression, it has to do with interpretation. But I call these dynamic marks. Dynamics in music is louds and softs. And that's what these marks at the bottom of page 11 do. They give you an idea of approximately how loud or soft to play the music. They're suggestions. And it's a range. They're not a set value. So I'll talk about them as we go through the videos. But here, the first column is the abbreviation for the Italian word for that dynamic or that loud or soft. And then they tell you what the English version of it is, and then they give you in parentheses what the Italian words are. You really need to know what the Italian words are, and you need to know the English, and you need to know the abbreviation. But I don't like lists, so I'm going to talk about them in the music, and I'll talk about them over and over and over, and eventually, hopefully, through repetition, they'll soak in. So I wouldn't worry too much about trying to memorize this list right now. Now at the top of page 12, they're also giving you another new note to learn for the treble clef staff, and that is the top space. It's an E. So remember, middle C's here, and then we've had another C here, and that is the next to the top space. Well, the top space is then an E. You need to know that note now from now on. I just expect you to know it. Instantly know it. Let's talk about this echo thing and see what's going on. It's 2 lines long, treble and bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature, so we're in the key of C major. It's in common time or 4/4 time. And I see quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. And eighth notes, we got them all here, oh boy. Let's take it one hand at a time because the hands are doing different things and we're moving around. And we got to talk about the hand moving around thing. Starting with the right hand, they don't give you any finger numbers, so I'm just going to tell you, start out with thumb on C, so you're in C position. And it's just a 1, 2, 3. And then for the next measure, what is going on here? They want third finger up here on C, so now you're in this position. So we're going to move from here to here. There's no rest or anything, it's just one note after another. So what we're going to do is you're going to lift up like we do in phrases. Lift up to take a breath, only this time when we lift up, we're also going to move at the same time. It's just, don't take a long time, but it's not a quick jerky motion or nothing. You just lift up and move. So after you play the E, just lift up. It's the same finger here. Just go here. May have to practice that. We do practice hand movements in piano when we need to, because you can't mess up the beat just because you moved a hand. So again, the first 2 measures would be 1, 2, 3, and lift up. And then the next measure, they want 4. This is good practice. There's nothing wrong with this fingering, but I would like to suggest another one. A little more advanced fingering that's going to serve you well in the future. And that is, in the third measure, we have 2 Fs. You see the first 2 notes are both Fs? Well, remember I said before, we take advantage of repeated notes to change hand positions. So I can change hand positions on the Fs. So in the third measure, I'm going to play the first F with thumb. I just bring the thumb down here, and then I can come over and play the 4th finger. So I'm doing a 1, 4. Because here, I can go back and forth 1 and 4 all the time. So again, going from the second measure to the third measure, reach down. And that's 1 and 2. Now I'm back in the C position. And then the second line is almost the same, with the same fingering stuff. Left hand, bunch of half notes and whole notes. You're here to start, and that's the only finger number you need in the left hand. You don't need any others, because the left hand's not moving around. You're just right here. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. This is fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now let's try to put the hands together. And again, when I put the hands together at first, I might hesitate all over. that's fine. We just want to know which fingers are working. You're here, and then here. I got to move the right hand now, so I got to focus. I got to look down at the keyboard for that, and I'm going to go here. Middle fingers again. And now third measure, thumbs. I'm going to use thumbs on both. And then 4. Here. And then let's do it again. Because the second line's almost the same as the first, except for the last measure. So once I have the hands sort of working together, then I go through it a few hundred times or whatever it takes, and I slowly get rid of the hesitations. The beat must be a steady beat, no hesitations. You can keep it slow. It doesn't matter how fast you go. What is important is no hesitations anywhere. And once I have that, then I add the articulation. Here they don't give any articulation mark. There's no staccato. So all I'm going to do is put in the phrasing. If I can hear where the musical sentences are, here. So it sounds sort of like the whole first line is a musical sentence, except I have to move. Here's where the echo comes in. I'm playing this. I'm going to echo it up here. I'm going to lift up, and there'll be a little silence there for that. But then the last two measures I'm going to connect. So I'm going to lift up for those. Okay. The left hand, I'm just going to connect it all if I can. You see, just because I lift up in the right hand to move, I've got to go up here. I'm not lifting up here. I'm connecting this. If you'd like, you can lift up for taking a breath, that's fine. Or if you'd like, you can also connect the left hand there too. So, you know, different ways of interpreting the music. Then once I have the articulation in, then I think more about the dynamics. See, dynamics is another thing I cover when I'm learning a piece of music, and I do it right after I do the articulation. I haven't talked about it before because they didn't use any dynamic marks. They just, whatever, play it. All I would do on dynamics is I'd say bring out the melody as far as interpreting it goes. But now they're giving us dynamics, so let's talk about these. They usually appear in the middle of the staff, although there's exceptions. Don't bother me with exceptions. Let's just deal with this. And they apply to the melody. So you have to figure out where the melody is. The first measure, it's mezzo forte, or medium loud. Medium loud could be moderately loud or sort of loud. It's not loud, it's just sort of loud. That's the right hand, because that's the melody. This left hand needs to be soft throughout the whole piece, just in the background. Here. And then the second measure is a P, that stands for piano, and that means soft. How soft? I can't tell you. It depends. It's not a set value. It depends on your situation. Depends on the room you're in, the piano you have, are you outside, where? Soft, you have to adjust it. You know, I'm in a fairly small room inside, so my softs can be fairly soft. Here, up here, soft. Left hand's got to be in the background. That means the left hand's got to be very soft. So the first two measures then would... See, that's the echo. And then in the third measure, the MF comes back. So now I'm back to moderately loud in the right hand. Here. And that's really what it is. Most of this is going to be moderately loud in the right hand, except the second measure of each line is the echo. That's going to be soft. Then once I have an idea of the dynamics, I go through and I kind of get comfortable with it enough that I can start feeling the music. Then I can add the interpretation. Well, our articulation and dynamics is all part of interpreting the music. They're giving you guides on how to interpret the music here. But you can take it further than that. Remember the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I exaggerate it so you can hear it, but you just feel the dynamics, or the accents, the natural accents. That's one way of doing it. You don't have to play it that way. You get into it and you feel it. You don't have to take it at that speed. It's whatever speed, but no hesitations anywhere, and you just start feeling the music. I like to play it with you very slowly, and let's check the notes and the rhythms. Now on the play with me's, I don't do dynamics. So I'm going to play everything about the same, both hands about the same, because we're not performing it here. We're just checking notes and rhythms. You need to hear all the notes okay. So I don't do any louds and softs. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.